Hey, beautiful people. I am going live today to talk about removing collections from your credit reports, a step-by-step guide. So I have everything prepared for this. I want to just do the video first. I want to just like get the video done first in terms of let me go over everything. If you guys have questions, drop your questions down below in the comments, and we can definitely go over those questions. But I hope that you guys have a great day. You're having a great day, great night, whenever you're watching this, especially for those people that's actually watching the replay. So when it comes down to removing collections from your credit reports, there's multiple ways you can go about this. You can actually talk directly with whatever collection company it is. Say, let's act like it's Midland. Okay, let's just throw Midland out there. You can send a letter directly to Midland. You can even ask the credit bureaus to remove it too. So the route that we're going to go first is talking to the credit bureaus. Now, let me say I'm not an attorney yet, but I did do a lawsuit against Midland. We settled outside of court. I can't necessarily talk about the terms. That was part of our settlement, but just know that I'm happy about it. So I'm going to kind of tell you, I'm going to show you exactly how I went about it so that I could actually have a successful lawsuit with Midland. So that's what we're going to do today. Now, I do have a free letter too for those people that's like, I'm not going to even go that far. Like, I do have a free letter if you guys just want to work to try to get it removed from just the credit bureaus. You have to kind of go that route anyway. Before you're going to sue any company, they have to refuse, honestly, to remove it from your credit reports. That's the biggest part of it. So you're going to already sending letters to the credit bureaus anyway. So we're going to go over that now, but I do have a free one. So let's actually look on my website. My website is rakita.com. I hope you guys can see the screen very well, but this is my website. You guys can always schedule a call at any time with me or somebody on my team. This is the free dispute letter that I was saying that you can send into the credit bureaus to get that collection account deleted from your credit reports. As soon as you put your name, phone number, your email address in right here, it's going to be emailed to you instantly. So definitely, if you just want to get the free letter, go ahead and just fill it out. We're going to fill out another dispute letter package that I have, which is actually right here. It's for collections. Now, it's $27 for this package, but you get 6 letters in a package, which is 3 months worth of letters. And if you execute and do these letters correctly, you could have it set up so that you can possibly sue the collection company that's on your credit report if they do not do exactly what they need to do. Basically, so this is what we're going to go over. Is $27 for the package. I do have also 6 months of free letters, so we can technically complete some dispute letters for you for all of the companies on your credit reports, and we can email them to you. All you have to do is just get this dispute letter package, which is like $67. But you know how I talked about like these collections, you actually get all of these letters in there, not the utilization sheets, but you get all of the letters in there. It's over 30 different letters you get. You just have to get the dispute letter package, get the 14-day free trial with Aura. The thing I like about Aura is that they'll let you know if you have any type of fraudulent things going on out there that you didn't know about, because you could use some of that stuff to your advantage. So you definitely want to sign up for Aura. They have a 14-day free trial. Get your credit reports for $1 through Identity IQ. It's $1 for the first 7 days. So definitely sign up for Identity IQ, and then do the credit application. That's just so we can make sure we put all of your information on your letter. So when we send them to you, all you have to literally do is print them and mail them out. And then once you do that, just call us and then we'll see if you're eligible for the free letter service. But if you did these 4 steps, you're definitely eligible for it. So that's another route that you all can definitely take. Now, let's go right into our dispute letters. So this is what it's going to look like when you guys actually, if you guys were to actually purchase the dispute letters for the collections, this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so this is the thing. This is going to be 3 months worth of letters, and then on the 4th month, if it's still not gone, you guys can file complaints with the Better Business Bureau, CFPB, and the Attorney General in your estate, or you can just decide you just want to go ahead and just sue the company. Okay. just sue the company. If you want me to, if you purchase this too, because I put it on here, if you purchase this, send a screenshot of signing up for the Aura trial, and I will personally review your credit reports for you, and I could possibly go ahead and create those letters for you too. But just send me a screenshot that you signed up for Aura through my link, and then I'll definitely do that for you. Now, I said you got 3 months of letters. So the first letter, this is the most important thing too, you guys. You have to understand the order. The first letter got to go to the credit bureaus. You have to talk to the credit bureaus about that account. What the credit bureaus are going to do is they're going to send an alert over to that company, and then the company is going to say whether or not they want that account deleted or whether or not that account is accurate. And then if that account is not deleted after the first month, you send letter number 1, then I want you to send letter number 2 or letter number 3. Is depending on if they responded or not. Okay. And then when we're going to get into that, but if a company do not respond to you, y'all, that's a good thing. Especially if you guys send your letter certified. If you guys send your letter certified mail, which is this, I'm going to show y'all what certified mail is. If you guys send it certified mail, which I don't suggest y'all send anything other than certified mail. If y'all send a certified mail, then you guys can have a paper trail saying, hey, I sent the letter to you. Because if they don't respond in 30 days, the FCRA says they're supposed to delete it. So the point that they did not respond, that's good. We got the letter in here to tell them, hey, you didn't respond. You got to delete it from my credit reports. Now that the second month too, you send a letter to the credit bureaus, but you also send a letter to the company. So I did a lot of research. They say you technically cannot really, you probably can, but the route to be able to sue a collection company is you have to contact the credit bureaus first, and then you can contact that company. So we already doing that. We talked to the credit bureaus month number 1, month number 2. We sending one to the credit bureaus, and we still sending one to the company. And then month number 3, you're going to mail letter number 5 to the credit bureaus, and then mail number 6 to each company that's on your credit reports. And I say each company because y'all can do multiple companies, collection companies at a time. Y'all can put all of your companies that's going to the credit bureaus, you can put them on that one letter for letter number 5, but you got to, for letter number 6 that you're sending to the company, you got to send one to each individual company. And then month number 4, you guys can file complaints with the Better Business Bureau, CFPB, and Attorney General in your state. You can honestly do complaints too if you want to. You can start doing complaints right after the first month of letters. You can start doing it that way. You can start after the first month of letters. Now, I got some links here too, so you can see your credit scores and credit reports with the free trial with Aura, and then see if you guys have any fraud there. Sign up for my membership on my website. You can get all 3 credit scores and credit reports for $1 with a 7-day free trial. And then here's the addresses to the credit bureaus where you guys are going to be mailing out your dispute letters to. Now, this is the first letter. We're going to actually fill this in together. I'm going to just try to make up something just basic. This information is not going to be correct, you guys. I'm literally just putting some on the letter. So this is the letter that's going to go to the credit bureaus. All of this right here is actually some juicy information. I just didn't want to just make it available for the internet. Once you guys get this document, you'll see it's information there. Leave it alone. What you need to focus on is things like this. So what we're going to do is let's start filling out this information. Now, the main information you need to make sure is on your letter is your social security number, your date of birth, name, and address. Those are the biggest things. So your date of birth is going to go here. So let's go ahead and put something there. So I don't want to forget. I want to put kind of the same thing on here. The address, we're just going to put 123 Main Street. Let's make that simple. And then social security number. You put your social security number here. You put your social security number there. And then you can put your name here. Okay, perfect. So now they know what your name is, they know your date of birth, they know your address, and they know your social security number. And the way that this letter is set up, it don't look like it came from like a credit company, which is good too. So I made sure that I kind of structure these letters differently. But this is the first letter that you will send to the credit bureaus. Now, you got all of your personal information on here. The only thing that you're still missing is for you to actually list the accounts. Now, I did not provide a space to list any accounts on here. And the only reason why I did that, hear me out, is because if y'all all send it in the same exact letter, putting your stuff in the same exact place in terms of these negative accounts, I just know that this letter is not going to be so effective. So we're going to find just a sneaky spot to put it wherever we would like to put it. I'm actually going to go ahead and list it right after the Social Security number area. I'm going to go ahead and list it there. So let's act like is Midland, the name of the collection company, and then we'll put their account number next to it. What's some other ones? We have AmeriCollect. And then here's the account number. Okay, perfect. Let me think of some LVNV funding. LVNG. LVNV. Hope I even got that in there right. Okay, it don't matter. This is just an example. So let's act like these are 3 collection companies that we're going to work with too. Okay, so those are 3 collection companies. Remember, you can put that anywhere, honestly. Like, you can put that anywhere. I don't care where y'all put it at, but you can just put it on there, okay? You have to make sure you list your negative accounts on there. So this will be your first letter. Again, reference right here. The first letter is going to go to the credit bureau. So you're going to mail out 3 certified letters to all 3 credit bureaus. Now, let's assume that these 3 accounts are the only collections you have, and they are all 3 credit bureaus. If you find that this Midland account is only on Equifax and TransUnion and is not on Experian, then you honestly need to copy this whole letter and then start on a whole new page. There you go. And then you need to take out this Midland and then mail this one separately to Experian. Okay. And the same thing with if all 3 credit bureaus are different, then you can just, you see where it says letter number 1, you can actually just put like Experian, TransUnion, copy it 3 times, and then you can edit and put where these accounts are at, because Experian, this account may actually not even have AmeriCollect on it. It might just have Midland LVNV funding. You know, it may be different. So you have to look and see if it's not on all 3 credit bureaus, and then you have to send out a separate letter, because you don't want to put on a letter to Experian asking them to remove AmeriCollect and it's not even on your credit report. So you want to just remove that from your disputes. So those will be the letters that we'll send to the credit bureaus. This will be our first month of letters. But let me actually go ahead and delete this so I can be prepared for when I ever use this for an example, because this is just an example. Now, we got to the point where the credit bureaus, let's act like we got our disputes back from the credit bureaus. We got our results back, and all 3 credit bureaus agreed to remove the AmeriCollect from our credit reports. Okay, so AmeriCollect is gone now. So when we send out another letter to the credit bureaus, we're going to just copy the Midland and the LVNV funding and copy again our social security number, date of birth, our address, our full name. We're going to put that information on it. Now this letter looks different too than the one at the top, so let's actually go ahead and start filling it in. Now I'm going to do like a copy and paste thing just to make sure that I don't think too hard with this. But you just have to fill in this letter, fill out this letter with your information. The date is 7/28/24. The credit bureau name, let's act like it's going to be this Equifax here. That's their name and address. Good. Okay, perfect. Now, again, you could copy this letter 3 separate times and put their actual name on here. And that's exactly what I would love for you guys to do. Just copy this And then when you copy it, just make sure you paste it 2 separate times, and then you put Experian and TransUnion right here in this section. Now, you have to put your name, your date of birth, social security number, your address on this letter. Right after that is where we're going to actually list those accounts. So let's go ahead and actually copy these accounts. And again, we're going to act like AmeriCollect is now gone. So let's actually go ahead and put it right after the address. AmeriCollect is gone in our eyes, so let's delete that. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and just fill out the rest of this a little bit too. So we want to put the full name on here. I think I did like 01 /01 /1991. Okay, perfect. Fake social security number. Okay, perfect. So this is starting to look good. This is what the letter is going to look like when you send it to the credit bureaus. Let me zoom in some for y'all if that makes it better. Okay, perfect. Now I can't see y'all comments. I'm going to answer all comments at the end. And you know, you got to put the whole address on here, but I'm not going to do that. Like city, state, and zip code. I'm just going to just put this like this, so I don't have to do too much typing. Now listen, this is the second letter that's going to the credit bureaus, but keep this in mind. If the credit bureaus did not respond, we're acting like they did respond, because the second letter is if they responded. The third letter is if they did not respond. So if they did not respond, and fix this little section too, I realized I didn't do that, put your name there. But if they did not respond at all, you actually got to fill out this one here. Now, the reason, again, why you have a different letter is because if they don't respond in those 30 days to answer your dispute, they're required to delete all of the accounts that you had listed on that letter from your credit reports until those accounts actually verify them. So that's why I want you all to definitely send it certified. And if they don't respond, make sure you send this third letter, because this is a very powerful letter. The third letter is, I will rather you be able to send out this third letter too, unless they went ahead and deleted a majority of your accounts. Like say if you sent a dispute and only Midland was left, they deleted AmeriCollect and LVNV funding, that would have been good. But if they don't, if they trying to just make them accounts come back verified and don't want to delete anything, I would have rather if they not responded at all, because this third letter is good. So this is the letter that you're going to send to the credit bureau. Again, this is the third letter. For month number 2, you're going to send letter 2 if they responded, or letter number 3 if they did not respond. Now, you also have to send out letter number 4, and this is going to go directly to that company that's on your credit report. So we got to send it directly to LVNV funding, and we got to send it directly to Midland. AmeriCollect is already deleted, so now we just have to focus on the ones that's still reporting at this point. So put your name, your address, the name of the creditor, LVNV funding, Midland here, put their address here. Definitely search up that company's address. And if you guys use the Identity IQ, like I told you all, with the $1 trial for the 7 days, all of your creditors and their address will be at the bottom, so you don't have to think too hard. Just go to the bottom of the credit report that they gave you, and you'll see that address listed there to the company. But put their information, their address on here. And what you want to do is insert your date of birth, your address, the last 4 digits of your social security number, and your name. And then I want you to also, after you put the address, go ahead and put that name of that collection or whatever the company is. So you can just copy this here, copy, and put that on there. Make sure I don't go too far. Number 4. Yeah, so right after that, then we can list the name of the account. Okay, and then they'll be able to search you up anyway because they have your information. Now you want to mail this letter to the company. So month number 2, you sending one to all 3 credit bureaus if the account's still there. So that's 3 letters you have to mail, plus 1 to each company. And we got LVNV funding, and we have the Midland. So it's 5 letters that's going out for the second month. If you want to, you can do a complaint, send a complaint to against credit bureaus. You can do that with the CFPB, saying that, hey, they did not respond, they're supposed to respond, and you can still send out your letter. It's just the second thing you can actually do, an additional thing you can do. But you can send complaints through the CFPB about the credit bureaus. We can't necessarily send anything about the companies yet until we actually ask them to validate these accounts, which is and show a verification of these accounts. And that's what letter number 4 is about. Now, let's act like we sent out the letters month number 2. We're done with month number 3. Now we got to go to month number 3 now. Okay, so month number 3, you have to mail letter number 5. I already showed y'all how to fill out the other letters. It's the same exact way. Literally just plug in your information, and whatever accounts are still on those credit bureaus, you put those accounts on those letters. And then you want to mail letter number 6 to each company that's on your credit report. Now, when you do this, remember that you want to make sure you mail it certified mail, because that's the only way you guys are going to be able to really get some tracking on these accounts. And not only is that the only way you're going to be able to get some tracking, but if you really want to sue like the companies, send it like certified mail. Do not play. Certified mail, certified mail, certified mail. I realized that when I sued Midland, the attorney told me that they automatically was going to settle once they got that lawsuit in the mail. So many of us, we would rather settle with these companies or just fight with the companies and never sue. So they'll just wait. Even if they right or wrong, they don't care. They wait till they get a lawsuit and they just settle those because it's cheaper that way. Could you imagine if they actually see that, oh yeah, we did do you wrong and the debt is $4,000? Could you imagine if they just start throwing all of those out for people prematurely and they didn't even get sued? They don't even have any real big punishment. They're not going to do that. So they wait until they actually get a lawsuit. But I tell people, after you do letter number 5, letter number 6, if those accounts are not off, you sent everything certified, I will honestly focus on suing those companies. Now, I am in the process of actually getting all of my things together that I use to actually sue, and I'm going to make it available like to everybody, which I'm very nervous about, but I think I'm going to make it available to those people that's really inside of my membership so that you guys can actually see all of that. But those things are very, very important in terms of sending certified letter. You can't like mess around with that. You cannot play. If you're gonna not send your letter certified, you just should know you setting yourself up for failure. But again, the things that I'm showing you, this whole package of letters is literally on my website. You can schedule a call with me or somebody on my team. If you look right here, you'll see like a collection letter. I even got some for student loans, late payments, charge off, bankruptcies. So it's different letter packages. And if you guys are just so confused or like, oh my gosh, fill out these letters, I'm going to pass out, then we do have the 6 months of free letters that we can send you all. You just have to do steps 1 through 5, or technically 1 through 4, and just give us a call. Okay, and then we'll email you your letters. You just have to mail them out to the credit bureaus. But I do suggest that you mail them out certified. If you're not going to mail them out certified, don't expect great results from it. Honestly, I just found that, because when you mail it out certified, especially when you mail out a letter to the company certified, they make sure that they answer those certified letters. If you mailing just regular mail, they know you're not setting them up for anything, so they feel like they don't have to do anything. So make sure you guys send it certified. I can step when letters come. I have ones. Let's see things. Well, I used to get stuck with these companies too, or feel some type of way about the companies. But if for some reason you're finding that you're having a hard time with some of these companies, maybe you should just figure out if you should settle out some of them. Some companies you shouldn't just continue to fight, depending on if they can sue you or not. And I'm just talking about having a headache at this point. If you're willing to continue to fight with them and have a headache, then go ahead and fight with them. But some companies you honestly may want to just settle with, especially if it will get you very, very far, or they do like a pay for deletion and just move on with your life. If they at the point where they pass a statute of limitations, I'm not saying like settle with those, you can continue to fight to get it removed from your credit reports. But sometimes it'd be better just to settle some of these companies, especially if it's one that say, give me $400, I delete the account, because of the headache of it all. It's a big headache sometimes. Oh, okay, you're gonna do okay. So I'm doing my first round for my Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Okay, that's really good. Now listen, I don't know if you did it already. Please, when it comes down to the bankruptcy, make sure you get it removed from LexisNexis. Please get it removed from LexisNexis. That's who's going to report that bankruptcy. So remove from LexisNexis, and then also think about removing it from all third-party bureaus. The goal is to make it so that nobody got information about this. Like, make sure everybody is taking it off their records. So that's my suggestion with you. What's the process when they send statements? If a company only send you statements, then you need to send out that follow-up letter, because the follow-up letter is saying that you don't have the necessary documents, basically. Because if you was to go to court, they got to provide more than just that. So you should ask them for more documents. And then make sure to, another big thing with these companies is that they have to mark that your account is in dispute in the comments on your credit report. So make sure that they're marking it in dispute. I've been looking at a lot of lawsuits, and the next year I told myself I'm going to study even more lawsuits, just only on this, because this is what I'm going to school for. So I said for the next year I'm going to be part-time in school, and I'm going to study the lawsuits. But some of the lawsuits are literally for the minorest thing, like you forgot to mark it as in dispute, and they win. So it's other things that you need to look for too, not even just on what they send you. It's also about the reporting that they're doing on the accounts. I don't know. Do you send the disputes letter out every 30 days or after each dispute? Oh, that's a good one. I didn't say that. Every 30 days. And not even just that. So once you send out your dispute certified, right? You're going to send your dispute certified. You want to find out what's the 30-day mark from the date of the tracking. So actually track it. The 30 days from the date of the tracking. That's when you want to send out the next dispute, because they have 30 days to respond. You want to wait and actually see if they're going to really respond. And a lot of times you can just call the credit bureaus too and ask them, do they got active disputes for you? And if you already sent this certified and they don't have active disputes, then you should already be setting up saying, okay, I need to start getting everything correct and get everything in order to send out a no response letter. But usually it's about every 30 to 35 days. Sometimes I say just wait a few extra days. It depends on your situation. You can wait a few extra days to see if the mail is late, because you got 30 days, but then they still have to mail you whatever the results is. So you can add an additional 5 days onto that. So I say about 35 days. LV and then funding. Thing, not disputing what's a court thing? I don't know. And I read a book called The Four Agreements, and like I have to make sure I know what this court thing is. I don't know what the court thing is. So the court things I had to see the statements and not the original. 100 pages of old statements. I'll send certified. So this is what you should do then. If you sent this certified multiple times, sue them. So think about it like this. If you put your lawsuit in, and I said I'm gonna make mine available, and then I might just look up everybody else's too in different states, find successful cases, and make that available to everybody. But if you put your lawsuit in, all they're gonna probably try to settle this out, especially if they're in the wrong. All they're gonna try to do is settle it out. You just want to see where they're coming from with the whole thing. Because when I first put my lawsuit in with Midland, I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared. I didn't even want to do it. And you gotta think about it, I'm getting midland deleted from everybody else's credit. And for some reason, they're bullying and fighting with me to the point where I can't get a delete from mine. Like every month I see somebody else's coming off of their credit reports, and I'm like, this means I need to sue. They just want me to get my practice in. So I just studied and I looked at everybody else's lawsuit and I just put that in my lawsuit. And literally they said that they just settle so they get the lawsuit. So that's why I'm just like, don't be scared. Just do that, because how much money you spending with all of this, you could have settled it. And you could have asked for part of the settlement for them to give you money, or you could ask for them to give you money, stop collecting on the debt in general, remove it from your credit reports immediately. You could ask for all of that. You can ask for whatever you want, and y'all can meet in the middle, but you will know what your bottom line is. You can just say, you know what, I just need this off my credit. But if you had to just put in a lawsuit, just get off your credit, that would have been good. But I think that at some point, y'all, like, I'm not lying to y'all, it's like it came to a point where I really didn't want to do credit anymore, because I realized how rigged it is when it come down to credit. Um, and I found that the only way a lot of people are getting great results too is like to the point where it's like, oh, the first month everything was off. It's illegal what they're doing, when technically they could have sued, got them some money, still got these accounts off their credit reports, and they have to worry about getting any type of legal action against them for doing something illegal. You know what I mean? But I know that we have to sue because these companies don't care. They can be in the wrong, literally, and they don't care. They're not going to remove it. They have the automated systems that's sending out notices. They don't even know that they're in the wrong. They just wait until a problem gets so big that it's a lawsuit, and then they rather settle it when it gets there, because they don't have to worry about all those smaller things. Imagine if they get 100 letters per day from people saying, I'm gonna sue you, I'm gonna sue you, and they just settle them all because they got the letter. They're scared. They like, oh, let me just settle them all, and let me just delete them off from there. Let me take them all off their credit reports. They won't make any money. So what they do is they may get the 100 letters, but they wait till they get that one lawsuit, and they like, hey, when that one come in, we're gonna settle that one. But if it don't come in, we're not gonna settle it. And if you don't have your certified receipts showing the dates, your letters you sent out, then we really not gonna settle it. But if you've been sending out your certified receipts, you got everything in order, they have no choice but to come and settle with you. Okay. And then I found too that some of these cases are just so small. Like even with my case, it was like, it's so small. And I'm like, but listen, I am losing my mind. And it's no way I can't get it deleted from my own credit reports. And like, I'm helping everybody else. This shouldn't even be on here. And all the attorneys kept telling me, this is something you got to do on your own. It's not that big. And I'm like, it is, but a lot of these lawsuits to these attorneys, they get hundreds of thousands of dollars for certain type of cases. So they don't care about none of these little cases where, you like, okay, you get some money out of it, a few $1,000s. They don't care about that. They try to get hundreds of thousands of dollars. So these small cases, they don't even care about them. We need to just put them in ourselves and not be so scared. But like I said, I'm gonna make mine available pretty soon, just to make it easier for those people that's scared. And I'm going to continue to study, starting next month, because school starts next month. So I'm going to take some time to go to the law library, and actually study these different things and look at these different cases, to show. Because what I learned is I looked at other cases that actually won. And if they had my situation, I'm like, here we go. Yep. I'm going to make myself look just like yours. That's all it really is. So I'm going to start making that available to you all. Should we pay the collection? I'm just kidding. So let me talk about, so I had a collection with Portfolio Recovery. I did pay that collection. I settled out that collection, but it was because I had something to do. Like, I had something to do. Portfolio Recovery say that they're going to delete that account. I think they deleted that account less than 30 days. I had no time to be going back and forth with this company. I had bigger things that I need to do in my credit than to think about this $600 that they wanted. So I gave them the $600. They deleted my credit report. But if I had time on my hands, I would not have settled out that collection. Okay, I would not have settled out that collection. I would have went through the process, and I actually through the process to the point where I'm going to just sue the company. That's what I would personally do. And then also, if you guys are thinking about paying any collections, make sure they not past the statute of limitations. So it's only a certain amount of time that these companies even have to sue us. So like when I was in Wisconsin, they had 6 years to actually sue before a debt. If they was outside that 6 years, like I'm not thinking about paying you. Like, you can't sue me. All you can do is send me letters in the mail and I can tell a collection company to stop that. Or keep it on my credit report for so long. So depending if it's past the statute of limitations, I won't even actually settle it. If anything, I'll be working just to get that thing deleted from my credit reports and working to sue them if they have inaccurate reporting or if they're doing something wrong. So if we receive letters, especially if another company is sold to, do you send the same letter to those new ones? Yes. These are good questions. So yes, let me actually keep that up. So say like that portfolio recovery I just said that I settled out. I could have technically continued to fight with this company too. Just got it like removed from my credit report. But what they're going to do a lot of times is they're going to sell it to another company. So Portfolio Recovery may sell it to LVMB Funding, right? And if they sell it to them, then you got a new company that's still going to try to fight to put it in their credit reports. So once they send you that letter, and y'all should know that letter is saying, hey, we got a new account for you. Basically, you got 30 days to respond to this letter we're going to put on your credit reports. That's basically what the letter is about. You have to go through the same debt validation process. And I have a free debt validation letter that you can send out because you got to kind of stop that one from getting added to your credit reports. So you got the free dispute letters here. It's a debt validation letter that you can actually send out to the companies. It's in this package. It's multiple letters in that package, but you have to send out the debt validation. I sent out the debt validation notice to them, letting them know that you need them to validate the debt. And if you don't say anything at all, usually it'll just put in your credit report. So you want to make sure you say something immediately once you get it. Now, I used to tell people, like when I first learned about this, and I used to do like free events at the library, what I used to do is I used to have a whole stack of the letters, and I'll have it where you can literally just fill out, just put the name on it, the name of the company. Just something you could fill it out, because when I started doing the free events at the library, I was teaching off of like my depressed mind. My depressed mind was I didn't want to do too much. I just needed to get resolved because I will overthink it and nothing get done. So if you know you got a lot of collections and you're trying to make sure that these collection companies are not technically going to just be coming on your credit reports and you want to actually fight them back, then go ahead and get that debt validation notice and then print a few of them. And then when you get a notice in the mail, literally, like I have all of my supplies here for like when I mail letters, but go ahead and get you a pack of envelopes, keep them right by the door, keep them right by the door, and get you the letter. You can have it on 1 page, 2 page, and then write the name of the company, whoever it is that sent you that letter saying that you owe money, and then mail it out to them right away, certified mail. Don't overthink it. Just mail that letter out to them, and that at least stops them or slows them down, because you're going to find out that sometimes when you do get it removed from your credit report, sometimes they'll sell it to a new company, and this new company is not equipped to want to continue to fight with somebody that's sending a notice back to them. They want the easy prey, the people that don't respond to the letters where they can easily put on your credit reports. So I tell people to just take that step that you need to take to make sure that you did everything that you had to do, and make sure you make a copy of that letter. I don't know if you have a copy machine, or take a picture of it. You can even, matter of fact, take a picture or just put a date on it. You can take a picture of it and just mail it to them, certified mail. And again, certified mail is this green receipt. And this can be a battle that you decide to do where it's like, I'm not going to pay anybody because I was there. I want to get past my 6-year part. Like, I'll keep doing this for 6 years because it'll cost me $5 instead of paying a $3,000, $5,000 debt. I will go ahead and just know that I'm gonna have to send out 10 letters within the next 6 years. I always just calculated that I'd rather do the 50, because it's like $5 per every certified letter you send. I would rather do the 50 because I can send 10 of them out there than to be thinking about a $3,000 or a $5,000 debt. But you have to understand that the most important time when you get when they sell it to another company is to send that debt validation letter out. And as I continue to learn more and pick more things up and find easier ways or quicker ways or ways where I'm like, hey, I see a lot of attorneys using this one letter, I'm going to implement that and show it to you all, because you can always reference cases and say, hey, I'm having a situation. I don't understand. When I sued too, I was scared. This is before I even started going to school, say I'm gonna be a lawyer. Like, this is before then. So I was scared of court, and I was like, hey, I don't understand the laws fully. But I do know that it was a case very similar to mine. And I told them that case so that they could look it up and see, like, this is basically what happened. And the it was actually a commissioner, because I did state court. The commissioner was like, hey, they didn't even show up in court, so you get a default judgment anyway. I don't even know all the details, but yeah, you just go in there and say, hey, I don't know all the details in terms of what to say to you all. I'm actually very nervous. I do want to say that, but I'm just having a hard time with my credit, and this is what happened. And then it was another case similar to mine. This is the case. You can reference it, and you can actually have a copy of it too if you want. And then you can go from there, because court is basically them listening to you and you talking back to them. But you want to just make sure you fight these companies as soon as they send you anything, because they're going to continue to sell it. What happens when the ones that have changed the date to current? Yes, that's re-aging. So that's the big thing with all collections. You can say that as your excuse all the time, that they're re-aging the debt and they're keeping a count on your credit reports. That's basically re-aging the debt. So you can put that as an excuse and as a reason why the account should be removed. One of the reasons, because a lot of you guys may have this too, one of the reasons that I did for Midland was, y'all know how you can look on Credit Karma and like the dollar amount, it'll say $1,271, and then the next month or next 2 weeks it'll say $72. It'll go from one to two, and they're collecting on a debt with the wrong balance. It's a certain way to put that, but if you look up your state laws, you could probably find it. They're reporting on a debt that's in it, the balance is wrong. And how I interpreted myself when I looked at that, I thought, okay, because I looked up other cases, I realized that if the debt is actually for $1,271 and you're doing $72, then maybe this whole debt is not, it's not mine. It can't be. If my debt is 171 and yours is saying 172, the debt cannot be mine. You can actually be collecting on a debt that's not mine. Like, you have to be specific like that when it come down to court, like, seriously, because you gotta think about it. They using these same specifics, these same things for us. They're being very, very specific. And I realize it can be the smallest little glitch in their system and they'll settle it. So definitely that's re-aging the debt, and that's something you could put on a letter. I literally have a re-aging debt letter that I sent to collection companies, and it's been working so well. But I literally sent it like internally for like people inside my membership that want some letters or something like that. I don't have it available for everyone. How do I get a list of consumer lawyers in Florida? I have a list of consumer lawyers, but I think that I forgot exactly where I got where the list is at, because I don't have it really accessible. It's on one of my older sites that I've been moving everything over to my new site. But if you email me, Rakita@deleteandremove.com, and ask for the link, I'll do that. Or you can text me. But emailing me is better. Just email me, Rakita@deleteandremove.com, and then I'll send you the link to it, because I don't have the link right now. And honestly, I don't have the mental capacity right now to even find it. I'm going to be honest. I just wanted to make sure I'd be available for you all. I'm having a long day. But keep in mind too that I called every Florida attorney and none of them wanted to help me. I was like, y'all not gonna do nothing. Like, y'all gonna make me do this by myself? Because I was just like, y'all can just do it. I can always refer people to y'all. Perfect. And that's why I was like, dude, I really need to be an attorney, be hands-on, because nobody is doing this for us. They're really not. But definitely email me and hopefully you'll find one that can help you with your situation. Maybe your situation would be different. How do I get collection deleted? How do I pay for this? So usually, so how you get the collection deleted, we went over the dispute letters that you all could use and send it to the credit bureau. So I have a free dispute letter here that you could just send to the credit bureaus. It's on my website, rakita.com. So I have this free dispute letter that you can send to the credit bureaus. But we went a little further and we got this collection letter package here. And what it is 6 letters in a package. It's only $27. And I showed you all in the beginning of the video, if you rewind, I showed you all how to mail out the letters. So you're going to technically mail letters for 3 months. Hopefully the accounts are deleted. If not, you mailed them out correctly enough to possibly even sue the companies if you did everything correctly. But this is the route that you're going to have to go. You got to send out letters to the credit bureaus, you got to send out letters to the actual collection companies, and you got to file complaints with the Better Business Bureau, CFPB, and the Attorney General. And for certain instances too, you might well, if you do like a CFPB complaint, they may say, hey, based off your situation, we're going to send this over to the FTC. So they may automatically send it over to the FTC depending on the situation. But that's how you're going to get those accounts deleted, those collections deleted. Now, when it comes down to doing a pay in deletion, pay for deletion, what that is you can actually mail them a letter. But I found that honestly, get on the phone with them. Literally get on the phone with them and don't. This is what I would say. I don't want to give y'all no advice. When I get on the phone with this company, I want to settle with them. I'm going to say, hey, I just have something where I have a lot of accounts on my credit reports. I'm honestly going through something. I don't have time to figure out where these accounts came from. It's just on my credit reports and I need to settle it. I don't know. I'm not saying this account is mine. I just really don't know. I need to get this account removed from my credit reports. I have 10 other companies I'm calling right now. I know I owe you $1,000. Is it a way I can pay $300 on this debt? I can't do a payment plan because honestly, I don't have a lot of money coming in right now. Can I just pay $300 and you guys just remove this from my credit reports because I'm just trying to get a house for my daughter, or I'm just trying to get in a better situation. You know, you can say whatever you want to say, but you need the key things is this is not my debt. I have 10 other companies I'm going to call. So if you're not going to take this $300, I need to go to those other companies right now. And you guys will never get any money from me. I'll just keep it pushing. And hey, I got something urgent going on too. Like I'm urgent. You better get the money now because after this, I might not have this situation. And that's what I do. I just tell them about that. And usually the collection companies will be like, oh no, we can't do 300, but can you do 400? They'll come back with a number, and that's your that's how you're gonna work on doing a pay for deletion. Now, some companies, a lot of companies are not going to want to send you a letter saying, usually you'll say, hey, I need this in writing. A lot of companies like, I'm not sending you anything in writing. Like portfolio recovery, when I was telling them like, send me something in writing years ago, they're like, dude, it's on our website that once you settle out the account, it don't even have to be for the full amount. Whenever you settle it, we're going to delete it from the credit reports. We're not sending you anything. So you have to understand that some companies will say that. And then some companies will outright say, no, we'll settle with you, but we're not deleting from your credit reports. And if they say that, you have to understand that maybe you should not be trying to settle with this company, because a lot of times, only time you really want to settle with a company because of a balance is because you're trying to get a certain type of loan and they don't like that balance. Some companies don't like the account in general. So even if you settle it out and it's on your credit report is paid, they don't care. They don't like that you had it in the first place. So you have to see if you want to still settle out this account even without them deleting it. So hopefully that helped everything that I did say. What about the e-Oscar system? Will it notice your letters from different people? So it will notice the letters from different people, but you got to think about it. You have different accounts, and when it's working, it's working. I don't know in terms of because even like if I seen that something worked, like I seen something was working still 2 years ago, and I was like, oh, let me just see if it's gonna work for this client. Oh, get deleted, and it still worked from 2 years ago. And it's the same letter, it's just different information that's on it. I am not totally educated on the e-Oscar system. The only way I can totally be educated on it if I understand a system um fully. And I think the only way you can do that is if you really work there, But I have found that even if you send the same letter out, as long as it's not like um I think that if you send the same letter out, it's fine. It's just that when it becomes a lot of people that send that same letter out, it becomes a huge problem. But when I think of the e-Oscar system, because it's still so all over the place, and this is the system too, you guys. If y'all don't know what the e-Oscar system is, this is the system where when you send out a dispute, the credit bureaus get they scan it into e-Oscar system. The e-Oscar system is what's going to scan in your letters and is going to contact and send over a copy of dispute to each company that you put on that dispute, basically, so that they can respond to it. That's basically what the e-Oscar system is. And they're basically saying what they notice, that this same letter is coming from different people. And I just I don't know. And the only reason why I'm saying this, I'm going off of experience. It's a letter now that to me that's working very, very good, and it's different people are getting the same results from that same letter. And even it was letters from 2 years ago, people are still getting results from that letter. So I don't speculate on that. I honestly don't know. But hopefully me explaining that can help you piece some stuff together too, like, well, I found this out, and you can piece together maybe how they work. The depressed mind is definitely a thing. Is definitely a thing, like it is. And that's why too, like, even when I want to stop doing, even talk about secure credit cards or even fixing this stuff, at one point it was like, I'm so over this, like I need to move on with my life. And then I realized that my credit being messed up, it took over my life for so long, that it's like, dang, you finally got over this, but why not go continue to help somebody else get over it? Because it may be people out there, definitely is people out there talking about it, but certain people can touch you, certain people can actually help you. So I'm like, let me just go back and still help, because I know what it's like when you're depressed. And I can tell y'all simple things like I do. Like when I was like real big in depression, and that's why I said I got the 6 months of letters. I created my 6 months of letters. I literally got all my 6 months of letters. I put it all in the envelope, and then I put, okay, these 3 going to the credit bureaus. I put month 1, and then I put month 2, and then my mailbox was right in my closet, like in my condo. So I literally stuck it out. My mail that had to go out that month, I stuck it out the mailbox, and then I put in my calendar in 35 days and mail the other ones. I didn't look on my credit reports. I was too depressed to even care about all of that. All that stuff was gonna make me sad. So that's why I tell people, like, a lot of time it's just the action of just doing something, and then I can come back and tell you easier ways to do it. But that's why I said too, I'm right now working to go to law school to be able to help those people that's just depressed and that just can't do anything, like you feel like you're stuck. So I definitely understand that, and I think that me going through that, it was hell for me. But it can help somebody, and then I can feel myself getting in certain type of mind frame. I can get out of it, and I can help people get out of it now, because I'm like, you don't have to think like that. You got to just change your thinking to get out of this. So definitely it's a thing for sure. What should you do with the one? You can ask any company not to send emails, and y'all know they only able to send out these new emails because of some laws that was passed. I said like a year or so ago about them. They can be able to send out emails, text messages, and things like that. Things like that. But you could always tell a company to stop talking to you, and you got a free letter too in here. The cease and desist letter, I have that in here. Uh-oh. In this package, you're going to get, and with the debt validation, it actually has a cease and desist letter in there. So you guys can send that out. That means don't contact me at all unless y'all finna sue me. And I wouldn't suggest y'all, well, it don't say unless you're gonna sue me. It just say don't contact me at my job and stuff like that. But they can only contact you unless they will sue you. Once you tell them to stop contacting you, all they can do is contact you to say, hey, we're going to just file legal action. That's what they can actually do. But usually, like I say, with some of these companies, with a collection company, if it's past the statute of limitations and they still calling you and stuff, send them that letter because they can't sue you. They passed statute of limitations. Send them that validation letter because it already got the thing and they're telling them stop calling you, stop telling you things. So with a charge off, it's kind of similar. Instead of sending out the collection letters, what you're going to do is you're going to actually do the charge off package right here, but it's very similar to this. It's just basically a charge off. You want to send a first letter to the credit bureaus about the charge off. The second letter you're going to send to the credit bureaus, depending letter 1 or 2, whether or not they respond, and then letter number 4 is going to go to the actual company that had that charge off. Okay, and then if it's not deleted after month number 2, then you do letter number 5 and letter number 6 for month number 3. You have to understand that you do have, you know, I want to say less rights, but it's a little bit harder when it comes down to charge offs in terms of, hey, I'm going to sue you because you're doing this, this, and that. These are the original creditors. The reason why a lot of times you can sue these collection companies, or you can even set them up to sue them, is because they got third party. They like a third party. You didn't actually sign a contract with them. They got to have these direct documents from the actual original creditor. So when it come down to the charge off, you really just want to fight the credit bureaus to remove it. That's what I have found. And a lot of times too, sometimes if you settle out some of these charge offs, sometimes they don't want to settle it. Sometimes they just like, hey, we want the full amount, whatever it is. If you pay them and get them to the point where they don't even care about you no more, as you send in letters to the credit bureaus to have it removed, they're not going to go back and verify these accounts. They're going to just say forget it and leave it alone. Now I did have when it came down to a charge off, it was and I felt bad about this credit union because the credit union was so nice to me, but I was messed up at the time. I needed them to help me out, and I asked them to remove it. They did not want to remove it. They had inaccurate reporting on this charge off, meaning they had different balances on all 3 credit bureaus. They open was different on all 3 credit bureaus. The payment history was different, which means that they have inaccurate data on your credit reports, which means according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, they need to correct it or delete it. I gave them 2 months to actually delete it. They did not delete it. So I sent them a letter with detailed information. Hey, on Experian, you say my balance is 142. But on Equifax, you say it's 140. This is inaccurate information. I gave you 2 months. Here's all the paperwork, my credit reports, my letters I've been sending to you guys. I'm going to sue you. When I did that to a credit union, what they did was they just deleted that account, and there's another account I had on there that I wasn't fighting with them about the other account because the other account was right, but they deleted both of my credit reports, and they was just like, hey, you need to go about your business, because I had everything lined up, and I made sure that I sent it certified. I was on top of everything. So when it come down to the charge off, keep checking on those dates, keep checking on the balances, check on that payment history too. That payment history is everything. So check on that payment history. And also your last date activity. Check on, just make sure everything is the same across all 3 credit bureaus. And remember, any of these accounts, I do have the 6 months of free letters to. Just scroll down some more. And you can do the 6 months of free letters. Just do step 1 through 5. This on my website, Rakita.com. And then I'll mail those letters for you to get them removed from the credit bureaus. If you know that this company can still sue you, this account is recent, then I would suggest that you guys just back up a little bit. Just sometimes leave some of these companies alone, especially if they're in a within the statute of limitation time where they can actually sue you. You might want to just leave them alone and not fight with them, because if you fight with them, they may actually put that lawsuit in on you. Okay. And when I say fight with them, maybe sometimes triggering sending disputes to the credit bureaus can be triggering, but sometimes it does not trigger them, and all you have is to send it to the credit bureaus. Once you start sending letters to the company, and some of the letters say, I'm finna sue you if you do this, they're gonna probably try to turn around and sue you. So if you know that you still owe money on a charge off and you don't want to have to get sued, you don't want to have to fight with them, then what I want you to do is just send out letters to the credit bureaus only, just the credit bureaus. When it come down to send a letter out to the company, you just wait until after statute of limitations, and then you can go ahead and set out those letters. How do you get a company to update a zero balance if they pay the collection? The company is still reporting every month as debt being in charge-off status. This is a lawsuit. I'm not an attorney though, let me say that. But this right here is like you're collecting on a debt that is not owed. Period. So this is the kind of thing where you send out your certified letters and you put it plain just like that too. Just lay it out like that. Hey, this collection was paid on this day. You still got the balance as this. I'm requesting that you remove this account from my credit reports. Period. Okay, that's the first letter. Don't make it so hard. Second letter is you still have not updated on my credit reports. Unfortunately, this is stopping me from getting a better job, getting better employment, getting a better house, getting a better car. My interest rate on my credit cards is stopping me from doing all these different things, because when it comes down to credit to you guys, they want to see damages. How is this hurting you? They want to know how this is hurting you. If you don't have any damages, then it's kind of like they don't care. Okay, you got bad credit. So what? But it's like, oh, I couldn't get this car. I tried to get this car. I got denied, or I got approved for the car. But instead of me getting a 7% interest rate on my car, I end up getting a 24% because of this account. That's how you show like certain damages. But you just lay it out plain like that. If they don't delete after the first month, you can send that letter directly to the company, and you can send it to the credit bureaus too. But if they don't delete it from there, just send a follow-up letter, like I said, laying out everything for them, letting them know how they're really hurting you. And then they may be more opted to actually remove this account from your credit reports. Because if it's a charge off, they can just delete it. Like that would be good too. Not even just updating the balance. Like and then your second letter say, at this point, I just need the account fully removed from my credit report. I cannot trust that you guys are going to update this accurately. So that's what I would suggest if you want them to update that balance. And you are very welcome. Oh, you never heard of the e-Oscar system? Yes, I heard of this. And what I like to do is, and this is how I kind of knew I was kind of obsessed with credit. I like to, remember I said you only gonna know about the e-Oscar system if you like work for them. I look up any type of training they got for their employees, like all of these different things, because that can help you be more educated on what's going on. And then not only that, the best thing when it come down to these companies too is just playing. And I don't want to say playing with their systems. That's all I like to say. That's probably not good to say. Trying things. You're going to know what works from trying things. Sometimes the simplest letter you didn't even know was going to work. It's just working, and you like, how? And if it works, it works. You use it while it works. So that's what I tell people. Just see what's going to happen. And you both are very, very welcome. But I hope that you all have a great night. I hope that this really helped with removing collections. This is my third live video. I got 40 major topics that I want to go over just like this, and in great detail, that I really want to get out there to help everybody. If you guys have any additional topics or you want additional videos, make sure you guys are subscribed and leave me a comment, because I'm answering questions from my subscribers only, because I want to make sure so I can tell my phone to only show me like my subscriber comments. And I'm only answering questions right now from subscribers, because I'm like, okay, I've been on YouTube. So YouTube said I've been on YouTube for 1,400 and something days. I'm like, what? But I've been doing a lot of videos. So what I want to do is I want to answer every comment that I ever got from a subscriber. So I'm literally going back and I'm doing public subscribers only. And yeah, I'm like a year and a half back. So if you sent anything more than a year and a half back, I'm going to get to you. But I want to make sure I answer all these comments, because as I do research, I do find that some people ask questions, and I love when somebody finally they answered them, even if it was 2 years later, because The original comment could have been from 5 years ago. Somebody answered it 2 years later. I'm here additional, I'm here 3 years later and I get to see like what the answer is. So I just want to make sure I go back and answer all of those questions. Email here. Yeah, I think YouTube is doing something crazy. I don't know what YouTube got going on, but I was just like, you know what? Let me go live more and talk to you guys more and just be available more for you all and just learn what what I need to be putting my eyes on right now. So now I know. So the next year I'm going to be studying. I should have this lawsuit stuff like down packed. My goal is to really have a sample lawsuit for every state. If I can have a sample lawsuit for every state so that you guys can know how to submit some of those paperwork. But then think about it too, is different counties and stuff like that. I think it'll be good though, just to have those lawsuits like available for everybody. But I hope that you all have a great night. I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm planning on going live tomorrow. So I'll see you all then.